Welcome to this week's Money Minute, brought to you by the Tiger Credit Union.
Week number 9, being smart about your debt.
Some financial experts believe that all debt is bad, but that isn't necessarily the case.
Some debt, when used smartly, can be a financial resource to learn from if it's used correctly.
So here are a few tips to help you determine what good debt is and what isn't.
Good debt is usually cheaper. It may help you get something important, like a house or a car, or maybe even a college education.
Typically, annual percentage rates, or APR, will be lower on these types of loans.
But even good debt isn't free, and you have to be sure that you can continue to pay your loan. So 3 years from now, if a job change comes your way, you need to factor in being able to make all of your payments.
Bad debt is typically for things you don't really need, like a credit card or store credit. Things like clothing, toys, or other wants instead of needs.
Credit cards can lure you in with a low introductory APR, but later will raise your rate to 18, 19, 20% or even higher.
And just because someone will lend it to you doesn't mean you should borrow it, especially when you just turn 18. Many credit card companies will start sending you pre-approval letters.
However, they do not know you or about your ability to pay back your debt that you rack up.
So just because they'll give you a card with a $500 limit doesn't mean you should take it and max it out.
Only charge what you can repay, in full and on a monthly basis.
And last, but certainly not least, don't use debit to keep up with the Jones.
The statistics show that in the U.S., over 115 million people have credit card debt.
Just because someone has a new car, wears all new clothes, and always has the latest and greatest technology doesn't mean they can necessarily afford it.
Look at your own finances. Know what you can afford and make decisions based on what is best for you.
Here is this week's trivia question. Which of the following statement is not true about good debt? A. Good debt helps you get something you might need.
B. Good debt is completely free.
C. Good debt typically has a lower annual percentage rate.
Or D. Good debt may be a car loan or a home mortgage.
Don't forget, everyone who fills out an entry form and correctly answers the trivia question will be entered into a drawing to win a Tiger Credit Union swag bag. So be sure to find the student tellers during your lunch period today to answer today's trivia.
Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey Tigers!
Are you counting down?
It's Thursday, May 19th, and today we have 9 days of school left!
That's 3 regular B days.
And 3 regular A days.
Top with 3 days of finals.
It's time to tie up all those loose ends, so get in those library books and pay off the fines. Graduation is almost here.
Today we'll be hearing about some distance runner stats, plus a lot of meetings. Keep your ears open starting now.
It's finally here. Today's Tiger Investment Club luncheon is at the Skyline.
Have a great time, TIC members.
Now distance runners.
So yesterday you heard about our upcoming meeting for the cross country that will be happening on Tuesday, May 31st, during focus in room 251.
That's a ways off, but time is flying. Speaking of flying, we learn to run like the wind in our sport. Just about anyone can become a runner. It takes determination to do it, but you will never regret the experience.
We need good people to join our cause next fall. We have some big shoes to fill with the graduation of our seniors.
And speaking of the Tiger distance runners, here's something in the category of cool. As of the end of this week, we have cumulatively run nearly 5,000 miles this spring. We have almost reached Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, the site of the next Summer Olympic Games.
We've been charting our progress all spring. That's a lot of miles, people. Great job, track distance runners.
Now here's a rundown of clubs and activity meetings. Listen for your group's time and location.
Today we'll be having the following meetings.
FBLA is meeting in Mr. Johnson's room during focus.
Color Guard is practicing after school in the band room. You need to be there if you are planning to audition.
NHS meets in Miss Knodl's room during focus. There's an officer election and you'll need to bring your hours, bring your volunteer hours.
SRL, listen up. This year's and next year's student reporting labs writing to students meet in the media lab during Focus. We're doing a Google Handout with our mentor. Teenage's Focus is closed to anyone not in SRL writing to this year or next.
FFA officers will be meeting during Focus. The only people who can be in the A group during Focus are students taking tests and these officers.
Now, for meetings coming up.
On Friday, FFA members are having their awards banquet.
We will be setting up beginning at 3:30 at the middle school. Please help if you can.
On Monday, all girls interested in swimming for the high school swim team will be meeting in the Commons during Focus.
And on Thursday, there's a tennis meeting.
Interested in participating in an amazing time and sport?
Come and join girls tennis.
An informational meeting for girls tennis will be held on May 26th during Focus in the art room.
If you want to get out and enjoy the weather, there's a softball game at home. If you want to take a drive, head to Altoona for some baseball.
We don't have school tomorrow, but C-Team softball will still be at Westby and baseball will be at Onalaska.
Plus, the Shooting Tigers will be competing at Manitowoc on Saturday.
Good luck, everybody.
Now, have a great day, Tigers.
Bye.
It's a time of year where people are out on the roads driving a little bit more because the weather's nicer, but with various things happening with prom, and we want people just to know that the risks do go up when we do certain things like texting and driving, obviously, and then if we're involved with the party scene, we have situations where people have to drive home or get home, so that's the time of year where it gets to be a little bit more risky. It was perfect timing with the mock crash being pre-prom and then the arrival live tour being post-prom. Have a nice little 2-week segment of trying to heighten the awareness with risky driving. I was aware of a similar type of program at the state track and field meet a couple years ago. Basically, by seeing that event, I knew that that resource was available, and then I contacted Arrival Live to see what their prices were and what the availability was, and we were able to get funds from various places within our district to cover the cost of the Arrival Live tour.
We are out here trying to promote safe driving and arriving alive. Our purpose and message is bringing awareness to the dangers of drinking and driving and texting and driving.
The stats are getting more and more incredible about, especially amongst teens, texting and driving and drinking and driving is killing these kids and maiming them. So we're out here just trying to lower those numbers, bring awareness to the entire problem, and hopefully solve it.
With the Arrival Live tour, the kids were able to experience, actually being involved in the risky driving and having the consequences unfold in front of them based on how they were driving, and then getting the legal end of the issue. Getting a citation for swerving off the road, or getting a citation for hitting somebody, and then getting a jail sentence basically after that happens, which is first-hand experience. Not just watching it, but actually being a part of it. A lot of kids learn really well that way. The slogan is, "It can wait until you're done driving." That's the thing, is no text message is too important to read while you're actually driving. It can wait. Understand that this happens, it does happen, it can happen, and it's serious.